So I worked with the Trump's family during the inauguration in 2017, the whole family. I worked with Joe Biden, I worked with Bill Clinton, I worked with the family Bush, the Bush family, and I worked with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Thought at that time that I was working for congressmen, senators, maybe celebrities, because there's a lot of celebrities invited during the inauguration. I was on my own. I was with all my material, my stuff. So it was heavy. And I remember I was alone on the street. There was nobody. And I was walking through the security. I gave my name. I passed the security, the Secret Services. And I reached out. So it was like a townhouse, a small townhouse with some stairs to go up. And I remember I started to go up the stairs. I was alone. And suddenly, there was maybe 20, 25 Secret Service people around me, yelling at me, go down, go down, go down, put you on the side. So I was like, okay. Walking down the stairs, I was the only one on the side with the Secret Service. And at that time, big SUV, black window coming, and they stopped in the front of the house, and President Trump and Melania were getting out of the cars, and of course I recognized them, And I was the only one down the stairs, so I was like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. I have no idea why they say that, but good to see you. They were very kind and calm, and they were going up the stairs. And I remember at that time, I was very naive, I guess, at the time. But I said, oh, that's funny. The president is going the same way than me. But I thought they were visiting people that I was going to do. I figured that the whole family was there in this house. And I didn't know at this time, but it's called the Blair House, which is like the guest house where all the presidents from all around the world, they're coming there, they're living there when they have to meet the president of the United States. The whole team that I was with, they were already there. And then there was this other makeup artist and hairstylist who were assigned to the president and Melania. But we were everyone was in the same room, so we're interacting together, and it was crazy. This time was crazy. They're like a regular family, Everyone is happy to be here. The children, they're playing together. I could see a president playing with his grandchildren. I don't think President Trump wear a lot of makeup all the time, because I don't think he likes that. Obviously, for TV, you have to. It's kind of mandatory. But it's mostly a spray tan, in my opinion. I haven't seen him putting this spray tan. But as a makeup artist, this is my opinion, because we can see otherwise on his hairlines that he's very fair skin, very fair, very blonde, very fair skin. And he has this white house covered, probably, when he got the spray tan. And maybe to hide, some skin issues or something like that. But it's no makeup, this orange situation. The White House, it's a big house. And there's a lot of people working there. There's not only the president, he's surrounded by so many people. So sometimes I've been asked to come back and to different people working for what we call the government, but they were working for the White House. Some journalists too, they need makeup. I understand why people are so interested to know kind of behind the scene of this White House, but my work there was very normal. And it became very normal. It was my routine. And when I was saying to my children, oh, I'm going to work to the White House today, they were like, oh, good for you, Mom. Have a great day. That's it. It was no, it was not, wow, Mom, you're so lucky. I would love to go with... None of that. The only thing that it's not normal, I would say, is the amount of president that I've done this past 10 years. The amount of pressure is very high, and I feel like when I do makeup, I'm someone very calm, very gentle. I can see when a big figure is coming, they are surrounded by assistant, stylist, press, people, and they're all the time surrounded by noise. Like it's, it's noisy, it's a lot, and American people like to speak loud. And when they sat in my chair, I'm like, okay, sometimes I'm whispering to them. I'm like, I'm going to take a good care of you, of your image, which is very important in the US. Don't worry, you can just breathe for an hour. I'm going to take a good care of you. I'm kind of in between the amount of stress that they have before. When they're with me, they can just slow down and prepare themselves for what's going on after. I don't have any contract with the White House. So they call me when they need me. I went to Bill Clinton's house and Bush family, different people, but big senators also, big Congress, people who take big decisions for the world, but it's big, billions of people are going to watch this inauguration. So they are surrounded by so many, again, people and noise, secret services, they're all around. It's chaos. It's chaos. What I lived too was chaos during the inauguration in 2017. They're watching your material. They're, looking the powders and all the things that can be, a danger for the president and the family. So yeah, of course we're being watched. You can feel the transition. You can feel it's different. It's when Trump came to the power, the first place, people didn't know what to expect. So it was kind of okay, let's see what's going on. And then when Joe Biden arrived at the power, the administration was, I would say, it was more chill. It was more relaxed. The city was quieter. But obviously with everything that happened, at the Capitol and all of this, they are so different.
So how was it to do Joe Biden's makeup?
It was an amazing experience that I will never forget. I had to pinch myself after this meeting because, again, I didn't know who I was supposed to do because the company called me. I was driving back to my house and they said, no, you have to go to that place. It was the building where the headquarters of the Democrats. You have to go to there. We have a VIP. You have to do a VIP makeup. So you have to go there. We will give you the information later. I went there. I parked my car, and I received the information. And when I could see Carla Frank, my client. Okay. I go to the lobby in the headquarters of the Democrats building, and I ask for Carla Frank, and the lady, I remember her face, she was like, who? Carla Frank. And then she said, she did this face not knowing who was this lady. She was like, have a seat. 10 minutes after, a guy came and he asked me again, who are you here for? And I said, Carla Frank, and I'm already late. So I don't know, the company, they sent me here, I have to do makeup at 3 p.m. And he looked at me and said, wait a minute, no one told you anything? So I was like, no one told me anything about what? And then he looked at me and said, oh my God, you have no idea who you're gonna do. And I started to panic because I did not recognize this name. So I started to look in my head. I was like, who's this woman? Did I miss something? And the guy was like, no, you're going to do the former vice president of the United States. At that time, it was Joe Biden. And I was like kind of shocked because I did not expect at all. I was supposed to do woman, makeup's woman. And I shook my head. I was like, okay, that's fine. And we went to the basement of the building. And 20 minutes after Joe Biden came, immediately he started to ask me questions about like, oh, what are you doing here? How long have you been here? And he recognized my French accent. And at that time, I was studying the Constitution to get my citizenship. And I don't know, I was very spontaneous. I told him this, like, oh, I'm going to have to pass my citizenship. And he said, oh my God, that's amazing. I love that. Congratulations. That's great. I'm happy for you. And I remember I said, yeah, but no, listen, you have to do something for this Constitution because I don't get it. So he looked at me with his big eyes like that, big blue eyes. He was like, oh, really? How so? And I said, listen, I don't understand. As a foreigner, what's the difference between the senators and the congressmen? For me, they are doing the same job. So what's the difference? But I was so natural, so I guess he saw me like panicking for this citizenship. And he said, Audrey, let me explain to you. So I had my powder in one hand, I had my brush in the other hand, ready to do makeup. And he was talking about, like, telling me about this Constitution for 10 minutes, like basically giving me a historic lesson on the Constitution. So I was like, this is crazy. This is, what I'm living right now isn't real. And no one is going to believe me. That's what I thought. So after that, he said, do you get it now? And to be honest, I did not listen anything. I was just like processing what was going on. And I studied the makeup. It was kind of difficult makeup because he has like a very dry skin. But then something happened. He grabbed his phone and he started like to show me his family on his phone. His wife, he was very proud of his wife, all his children, grandchildren. And then he had a picture of his son, Bo, who died from cancer. And I could feel like the emotion at that time. He was like getting emotional about like telling his son. And then he was like, what about you? Show me your family. So I grabbed my phone and I showed him my family. And we just had like a nice conversation on life. I was supposed to stay 30 minutes with him, but I stayed over an hour with him.
Did you understand the Constitution then?
I did. I got my citizenship.
Well done.
Thanks, Joe Biden. When you reach those people, you have to learn how they are functioning, if I can say something like that. And all of them, they are so different. Like, I'm not going to approach the same way a president than a billionaire. Those have different codes. And you have to learn how to reach out to them, how to bring something up to them. I started to work for Ivanka Trump right after the inauguration in 2017. She asked me to come to her house for different occasions that she needed makeup. And it was a very good experience too. This woman, she knows what she wants, she knows what she doesn't want, and she's very professional and precise. She wanted us to start to work for her at 6 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. sharp. And then going to her house, but then you have to pass the security, the Secret Service. And they're all searching your stuff, like digging. And once you pass this, then you have to wait for the green light of the assistant. So you're waiting waiting. And then when you have the green lights, you have to go up the stairs, the 3 levels of the house, quietly, because everyone is sleeping. You cannot waking up everyone. And then you have to install your material in the office quietly again. We don't want to wake up the children. And 6 a.m. sharp, she's on the chair. And here we go. Like I said, she's very precise on what she wants. So she said, okay, this is this kind of event. I'm going to wear this. She showed us the outfit. She taken me apart and say, okay, what we can do for makeup, since I'm going to wear this is this kind of event. What do you think would be the best for me? And she has also some proposition to do. She knows very well her face. And she's like, I was thinking maybe doing this kind of makeup. What do you think? We exchange, actually. The hairstylist, she wanted like a bun. But she didn't know which one, like a high bun or a low bun. And she asked the hairstylist, like, what do you think? And I could tell, like, the hairstylist, she was confused. She was like, But when you work for this family, you have to be, like, sharp on the answer. They need an answer, like, right away. And the hairstylist, she was hesitating a lot. So she turned towards me and said, what do you think about that? And the time that I was thinking in my head, imagine her with the high bun or the low bun. Okay, low bun, high bun, 3 seconds. And then she was like, okay, never mind. We're going to see this later. I didn't have the time to think about it. Like, she was already on something else. And that's what struck me. It's like they need, and I said they, because this is the whole family like that, they need like an answer right away. I'm not supposed to say anything. That's it. And I getting out of her house and I go back to my house. And the next day, the next morning, I received on my phone like 100 messages saying, oh my God, congratulations, that's amazing. I love that. That's good for you. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't get it. The company asked me to call them immediately. And I started to freak out because I was like, oof, that's not good. That I've seen her yesterday, that means something happened. Maybe something with the makeup went wrong, or... So I started to panic, and they were like, well, good job, Audrey. You did good. Because, you know, like, you have been taken by a paparazzi. And I was like, what? And you could see my picture, like, taken by a paparazzi getting out of her house. So, of course, she was not happy. The company after that told me, listen, starting from now, you don't put any tag, any brand, nothing. You go with nothing to your makeup. So yeah, that was funny. But of course, after that, I got a lot of publicity from this story. So I started to get like more clients of it. Yeah, it was a big difference. She's still the daughter of the President of the United States. So that means, oh my God, if she's hiring this makeup artist, that means this makeup artist must be very good. And I am, of course. But yeah, I got more clients after that. They want to be very quiet because all the attention are on them. That shows that life. But it's very stressful, still very stressful and very suffocating. I've experienced this with them. And, with my family, we have been invited to the White House for the egg hunt party. And the president is getting out to do a speech with Melania. And after the speech, he came down to like say hi to people. And we were like the first family that he stopped by. And my son had a handshake with the president. I experienced with Netanyahu, I was not able to go to the bathroom by myself. Like I had someone from Secret Service who was assigned to me. So every time that I stood up and go to the bathroom, I had someone coming to the bathroom with me, staying there. I was getting out of the bathroom. He was watching me up and down to see if I didn't bring anything or didn't change or did not receive anything from the outside. And they were bringing me back to my chair. So that was a weird sensation. I went to the hairdresser. I didn't know this hairdresser. He was kind of popular. And the owner of the hair salon get to me and say, "Oh, what do you do in life?" And I said, "Well, I'm a makeup artist." "Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. What kind of makeup do you do?" So I started to show him some pictures that I have on my social. And then he realized, like, oh, she must be a good makeup artist. So he said, like, naturally, "Listen, I might have a job for you." "Okay, with who?" "Well, he was like kind of, you have to contact the Israel embassy and check this with them." And when the embassy called me and say, "The prime minister and his wife, they are coming to sign the Abraham Treaty. We need a makeup artist." I said yes, immediately. All the delegation was in a hotel, a very chic hotel in DC. I was there too for 2 days. My mission was 2 days, but they were there for 3 days. He wasn't stressed. He was very concentrated to his speech. Very, close face, concentrated. Of course, he is surrounded by Secret Service, Israeli Secret Service. And I remember that time I was using my own product, my own brushes. And when I started to approach him to put the product on his face, like someone stopped me. Said, "Stop." So I got scared. I was like, "Oh my God, what did I do?" Everyone started to watch me. An assistant came. He was like, No. You don't use your product. You're going to use those products." And they brought me like a trouser with some makeup product inside his product. And I had to do makeup with his product. I had to adapt because I didn't know those products. I didn't know those brushes. I didn't know anything. So I had to improvise and adapt myself to do his makeup. So yeah, I worked for the last inauguration in January. I knew after that day that it would be the last one, because this one, I've done 3 different inaugurations, and this one was, in terms of pressure, and it was too much for me. I was completely upside down emotionally too, physically and psychologically. We don't realize on TV, but the amount of security, and it was a high-risk ceremony because it was what happened with President Trump, with the attempt of assassination and all of this. It was too much. Sometimes, yeah, there's some stuff that I could hear that I shouldn't, that I could see that I shouldn't. But there's also like a respect to have. I'm telling my story, but there's some stuff that I will never said, because I respect also the privacy on some people. And there's some stuff that, like, it doesn't matter for the people to know that. Yeah, sometimes they ask me, like, "Audrey, you have to be quiet on this one." And yeah, there's some stuff that I will never said. But again, I was and I am very grateful. I embrace everything, and we'll see for my next challenges. I am Audrey Lefevre, and this was my story.